What's up, everybody? Today we're going to be talking and discussing the Arizona Cardinals 2022 NFL season. So I just got done talking about the Denver Broncos season. And Arizona, going into the season, they weren't getting hyped as much as Denver was, but still hyped to a degree. Um, with Arizona, it's funny. I wish I would have started doing these videos sooner in my life because I noticed way before anyone, before Murray was even in the NFL, he had a bit of a cocky attitude. Just an attitude that I didn't like from a quarterback. I watched him on the NFL Today. It's the pregame show on CBS before the 1 o'clock games every Sunday. Every year they bring on the Heisman winner and they interview him for a few minutes, small segment, keep it short. And they just straight up asked Kyler Murray, are you shocked that you won the Heisman? He was like, not really. And it's like, okay, even if deep down you really did think that you had a serious shot at winning the Heisman, you don't need to come out and say that, man. I mean, a more appropriate response, a more professional response would be, yeah, well, I didn't, I've always believed in myself, but did I think I could accomplish this? No, I got to give a lot of credit to Coach Riley and my teammates, It's a phenomenal season, and I'm very proud of what I was able to accomplish. Something like that. But no, the answer that he gave didn't sit well with me, and it stuck with me. I felt like his rookie year and his second year, we weren't getting the real Kyler Murray. Even his third year, towards the end of the third year, though, you start to hear stuff. And I'm like, maybe is my theory coming true? And then this year it all leaks. Former teammates calling him out, dads of players calling him out, owner. It was bad. And I always had a concern with Kyler. Was he going to work? Because, folks, he's 5'9". I'm taller than Kyler Murray. And I'm super small compared to all those NFL bodies. So, how the hell was he going to do it? I know, great arm, great athlete, and he's been productive, don't get me wrong. But 4 years, 1 playoff appearance, and it was a loss, and it was a bad loss. He has had multiple injuries now. This latest one, very severe, supposed to miss the first half of next season. You're tied to his contract, unfortunately. I would have had to pay him too, but you're tied to the contract, and it's going to be hard to get out of. Another thing, nobody wants this job. I know they just hired Jonathan Gannon, the Eagles defensive coordinator, but felt like nobody really wanted it. Sean Payton didn't want it. Jim Harbaugh didn't want it. Frank Reich didn't want it. I don't even know who they interviewed. I don't think they interviewed a lot of people. Brian Flores, I know they interviewed him and he turned it down. He decided to stay he decided to become the Vikings defensive coordinator. Wait out another year to see if he could become a head coach again. They put in that in his new contract and Kyler's contract about the video games and he has to watch film. It's weird. But Kyler, he doesn't seem like he's a guy that's all in. Not getting along with teammates, just not a guy you want to be around. That's not a franchise quarterback. I think you move off him as soon as possible. And I'll get to this theory later in the video. So hold that thought. I want to get to Kliff Kingsbury now. I don't think he should have been fired. I know he doesn't really have any fans. He doesn't, and I can understand why. He was the head coach at Texas Tech, and he had a losing record with Patrick Mahomes. I can understand that. He was briefly the offensive coordinator for USC, and their offense wasn't that good. I can get that. And then he gets hired as the Arizona Cardinals head coach. But I thought it was going to work because he said he had been watching Kyler and drawing up plays for him since he was in high school, since Kyler was in high school. So I was like, well, damn, he must be ready at this point. You know, we've been watching him in high school, watching him in college. You're going to be ready for the pros. And I thought Kyler got better year after year after year with Kliff Kingsbury. And I thought Kliff Kingsbury was a pretty clever guy. Almost got Coach of the Year last year. But yeah, they let him go, as well as the GM, Steve Keim. To be honest, kind of happy for Kliff. He's not going to get another head coaching job in the NFL, I don't think. I just don't see that. Now, college could be different. I can see a college team offering him the head coach position. Like, let's say Brett Venables. Oklahoma has another disappointing year, and they part ways with Brett Venables at the end of the season. I can see them reaching out to Kliff, and Kliff potentially taking that job, or at least taking a call, an interview. But right now, Kliff, he's overseas. He's basically off-grid. He's not talking to anybody, at least within the media. And there were also reports he actually kind of considered stepping down. He was tired of it. He couldn't take it anymore. Kyler, the stress, all this other stuff. And now, back to my previous thought. What do you do if you're the owner? I think his name's Michael Bidwell. I know there is a Michael Bidwell. Not sure he's the owner for the Cardinals, but I think that's the name. If not, I'm sorry. Let's just get that off the table. But anyways, what do you do if you're the Cardinals owner? Well, I mean, you got to look around. You just lost Chandler Jones, one of your pass rushers, star pass rusher, the previous season. He went to the Raiders. Your other pass rusher retired. One of your receivers, A.J. Green, who I'm not sure will be a Hall of Famer, but he's good, and he retired. Now your star number one wideout, DeAndre Hopkins, wants out. Your offensive line's still a mess. Robbie Anderson at receiver ain't gonna work. Your GM and your head coach are already gone. If I'm the owner, I'm considering blowing all this up. Trade Kyler. Take the dead cap hit, even though it would be really bad. Trade Budda Baker. Trade Isaiah Simmons. Trade Rondale Moore. James Conner. Etc., etc. Just start over. Tank. Maybe you could get a Caleb Williams. Probably not Caleb Williams, but maybe a Drake May. Why not? I think it's something you have to consider if you're the owner before you bring in a new GM and a head coach. Well, they already brought in the coach. Haven't heard anything on the GM. But it's just something that I would have to consider. You're not going anywhere. You were bad, 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 bad. Slightly better. Slightly better. Slightly better. Oh. And now you're going down really low. This team may have the darkest future ahead of them in the NFL. They may very well have that. It's unfortunate the way this thing had to end. Because I think J.J. Watt might give it another year if the team is in a better position. I think Fitzgerald might still be playing if it's not the situation it is. But it is what it is. We see stuff like this happen in the NFL all the time. But yeah, it's going to wrap it up for this video. I'll be posting more content throughout the week. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and see ya.